Welcome to Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only LGBTQ daily news television show broadcasting live and available on demand on your favorite streaming channels. Analytics company vidIQ has certified the Queer News Tonight YouTube channel as the world's most popular LGBTQ streaming news show. Our queer stories have reached over 10 million views.
More than 1,000 people subscribed to our YouTube channel in the last 30 days, and I invite you to like and subscribe to Queer News Tonight. We're proud that our YouTube channel has more subscribers than any other LGBTQ brand in Florida. There is no other news program in the LGBTQ world like Queer News Tonight.
It is Wednesday, July 16th, 2025. We are live and literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we'll tell this evening on Queer News Tonight.
You're watching Queer News Tonight, the world's first daily LGBTQ evening news show.
Welcome to the world's most important LGBTQ evening news show. Hotspots Magazine Happening Out Television Network is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the same model as PBS and NPR, but designed for the LGBTQ plus community. Our nonprofit mission is to support the 11 pillars of our LGBTQ community. We want to inform and educate on the key issues of lesbian, trans, Latino, Black, healthcare, seniors, students, faith, social justice, business, and queer culture. Help us support our diverse community.
We're part of one of the largest LGBTQ nonprofit media companies in America, Hotspots Magazine and Happening Out Television Network. In 2025, our magazine is celebrating 40 years of the LGBTQ experience, and Queer News Tonight is celebrating our 5th anniversary with more than 10,000 LGBTQ television stories. We present Pride Fête in August, and we declare that love is in the air with Pride Fort Lauderdale on Valentine's Day, February 14th. Our magazine, events, television, news, talk, and entertainment shows support our mission to educate the LGBTQ and broader community.
In 2025, more than 100 community leaders will sit at this table and share their voice as our anchors. Together, we host this show to support the LGBTQ plus community. Let's meet this evening's anchors at Queer News Tonight. Let's welcome anchor Bishop Durrell Watkins, the senior minister at Sunshine Cathedral, one of the most important LGBTQ churches in the world. He is an auxiliary bishop of the Global Justice Institute and the current president of the Divine Science Federation. I love that. Durrell, Sapphic love gets shuffled in Spy for Spy, at Empire Stage on multiple dates through August 3rd. Tell me what's happening out.
The Katoomba Theater Project will present Spy for Spy, a bold and unconventional Sapphic love story. I love that word, Sapphic. This July and August at Empire Stage in Fort Lauderdale. Written by Kieran Barry and directed by Kim Ely, the play explores the emotional roller coaster between Sarah and Molly, two very different women drawn together by 7 unforgettable kisses. What sets Spy for Spy apart is its unique structure. Each night, the audience will pick songs from a playlist, and the order of the scenes will shift accordingly. Just like memory, the story may unfold in different ways, but it will always make sense and always move the heart. Performances are scheduled for multiple dates at different times. The upcoming show will be on July 25th at 8 p.m. With limited seats available, theater lovers are encouraged to visit empirestage.com to book their tickets early. I love that. I've been to those shows where audience participation determines the outcome, and those are so fun. And it's amazing how good they are at it.
Right.
So this will be worth it. Also, I love supporting the queer community whenever you can, and I love supporting arts whenever you can, and you can do both. And plus, you get to hear the word Sapphic. I just think that is an amazing, I love that word, Sapphic.
So Sapphic is one of the bishop's top 5 words, all right? So he might just put it in another news story for no reason at all.
Did you know it's in the Bible? Did you know it's in the Bible? It is. The word, not the word Sapphic specifically, but Mytilene is in the book of Acts, and Mytilene is the capital of Lesbos, which is where Sappho lived. So yes, so Sappho City, Mytilene in Lesbos, is in the book of Acts.
Oh my God, I love that. And there's another reason why you should go see Spy for Spy. So I went to go see the play already. I saw it. Yes, I saw it the day after opening night. The director, Kim Ely, invited me. Thank you, Kim. Extraordinary. amazing, right? And so I got there a little late, so I didn't get to be part of choosing which went first or whatever, right? But it was incredible, and I want to see it again. And they say that every time they shuffle it, right, it's kind of a different story. So it could be 345 different ways that the actual play can be presented, which I think is awesome, you know? And so these two girls, they meet on New Year's Eve, and it follows their relationship through a year of turbulence, love and loss and all kinds of stuff. But you shuffle all of them, and it's like it's cool to be a part of it, you know. And then like the music was like Dua Lipa, and it was like Lady Gaga, and it was like all the music like after our little gay hearts. So it's wonderful. And just because it says Sapphic doesn't mean that it's just for women by women. All right, boys, go watch the play, support the arts, like you were saying. It's so important. The Empire stage is an incredible stage. It's intimate, it's warm, it's wonderful, and again, it's our community.
It's our community. And if you do have this weird thing like, oh, that's for girls, that's for what. Let me remind you, because I'm 100 years old, that during the AIDS crisis, we wouldn't have survived without lesbians. They were the ones who took care of us when we were dying. They were the ones that marched with us and for us when we couldn't march anymore. Even if it is all about women and you don't even understand it, go anyway. You owe our lesbian sisters at least a theater ticket.
Yes, you do. Yes, thank you for that. And Queer News Tonight looks forward to seeing you at Spy for Spy on multiple dates through August 3rd. And that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.
And of course, let's welcome tonight's lead anchor and grande dame, FayWhat. She is a legendary events host in her own mind and a television and radio personality and the host of Hotspot's Happening Out's The FayWhat Show. Faye, ORGULLO dance contest, already sounds exciting, lights up Hunters on August the 21st. So tell me what's happening out.
You said Orgullo really well, Bishop. I'm so proud of you. Look at you. So on Thursday, August 21st, Hunters nightclub in Wilton Manors will sizzle with rhythm and pride as the Celebrate Orgullo dance contest kicks off at 9 p.m. The event will be free and open to the public. DJ Drew, who I adore, will spin high-energy tracks with Latin go-go boys, keeping the vibes steamy. Dance duos will compete for the prestigious title of Orgullo Dance Divas, a gleaming trophy and fabulous prizes. The contest is part of Celebrate Orgullo, South Florida's Hispanic and Indigenous LGBTQ plus Pride Festival, known for uplifting queer talent and culture. With $4 Bacardi cocktails flowing all night long, the event promises to be a fiery, fun-filled evening. Attendees are encouraged to bring their best moves, their dance partners, and their cha-cha heels. More details can be found at huntersfortlauderdale.com. Let the music play and the fiercest dancers win. So I love Celebrate Orgullo, and I love everything that they do over there at Unity Coalition. I adore Herb Sosa and the whole entire crew. So thank you for everything that you do. I can't believe that it's almost time for Celebrate Orgullo again. Wow. But I love that they don't just stay in Miami. They do stuff in Fort Lauderdale as well. And you don't get any better than Hunters nightclub. I always say that Hunters is like our elevated community center.
It is.
Right? Because we have galas there. We have book signings there. We have celebrations of life there. We have everything there.
Political, spiritual, celebration, all these. Now, are you judging or emceeing?
I'm not.
This is the one event. This is the most, like, honestly, you're probably the most emceed MC in 3 counties, right? So this you'll just get to enjoy. That's great. I was going to, not a lot of people know this. I actually applied to be one of the go-go dancers, but, right. But they're like, no, this is a very like specific. So I'm like, all right, when when the celebration is about geriatric, overweight people, I'm on the middle stage. I'm in the cage, baby. So,
like that.
This sounds.
You and Robert dance?
Usually not on a stage. We would dance on a dance floor surrounded by other people hiding us. But yeah, no, we love to dance. We danced at our wedding and whatnot. But this sounds like so much fun. Yeah. Even if I won't be embarrassing myself, it's still going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. And in a great venue and great people.
And at the end of the day, it's for an incredible cause. Celebrate Orgullo, right? That at the end of the day just spotlights queerness, indigenous-ness. Indigenity. It's a Durrell and Faye show. It's a Durrell and Faye show. All right. So Queer News Tonight looks forward to seeing you at the Orgullo Dance Contest on August 21st. And that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight. Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm FayWhat, and let's queer up entertainment. 2025 Emmy nominations have impressive LGBTQ nominations. The who, what, and where. The nominations for the 77th Emmy Awards are out, and the 2025 ceremony is shaping up to be one of the queerest yet. Announced on Tuesday, July 15th by actors Harvey Gulen and Brenda Song, the nominees for the upcoming Emmy Awards reflect powerful queer representation across nearly every major category. Non-binary actor Bella Ramsey picked up their second nomination for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series for HBO's The Last of Us, making history as the only non-binary performer to receive 2 acting Emmy nominations. In the Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series category, queer talent dominates too. Coleman Domingo and his sexy ass, Jeff Hiller, Michael Urie, and Bowen Yang took 4 of the spots. Meanwhile, bisexual actor Hannah Einbinder is the only openly queer nominee for Supporting Actress in a Comedy Series. Cynthia Erivo scored her 3rd Emmy nomination, this time for Guest Actress in a Comedy for Poker Face. Comedian Robbie Hoffman received her first Primetime Emmy nod for her guest appearance on Hacks. RuPaul Charles and Alan Cummings are both nominated again for Outstanding Host for a reality or competition program for Drag Race and The Traitors, respectively. This marks RuPaul's record-setting 10th nomination in the category, surpassing Heidi Klum and Tom Bergeron for the most ever. If Coleman Domingo wins for 4 seasons, he'll become the first Black actor to win in a Supporting Actor in a Comedy category since it was created in 1984. Domingo previously made Emmy history in 2022 as the first gay Black man to win for Guest Actor in a Drama for Euphoria. Tremel Tillman of Severance is also positioned to break barriers. If he wins Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Drama Series, he'll be the first Black man to take the award in the 21st century. Ayo Edebiri is shining too. She's nominated for both Outstanding Directing for a Comedy Series for The Bears Napkins episode and Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series. The 77th Primetime Emmy Awards is a record-setting moment for the queer community and will air live on CBS and stream on Paramount Plus on Sunday, September 14th. One thing's clear, queer brilliance is not just present, it's leading the way. How exciting is all this, Bishop?
I'm excited.
Oh my God, this is like so gay. Okay?
It is the gayest.
It's the gayest experience ever. But before we get into all that, I wish that in our lifetime, it won't be that we'll have to mention the first Black person to get this award or the first non-binary person to get this award.
Right.
It'll just be this human got the award and that's that.
Right. And what the sad thing is they're not the first. They're the first that got to say it out loud. You have no idea how many like models and actors were trans, but they could pass and they had to hide it. And so they were successful by denying who they really were.
Yes.
And now we don't have to do that anymore, thank God. But yeah, the way people could be successful was by lying or hiding, which is just a big, huge burden. So when we say the first, it's just the first person who can be free about it.
Yeah.
Whoever you are, someone like you has existed and has already been there. They just couldn't say.
Oh my God,
and
that's so true.
Yeah, so this is an exciting time where people can say. It's also an exciting time because it's an oppressive time. And how you fight fascism is with academics, is with the arts, with activism, and so we have all of that here.
Yeah.
So the more queer people you see in the arts or in business, or that's pushing back against all of the political hatefulness. And so we need more and more of this. And it just shows that no matter what they do, we're still here. We're going to take care of each other. Yep. You can't erase us. You can make our day really shitty, but you can't erase us.
You know, representation matters. And I mean, it's like it's no secret that we are everywhere, but we're dominantly in places like this when it comes to entertainment and the arts and theater. That's us.
Yeah.
You know, that's where all the queer kids went in high school, was to the theater club, right?
Yes.
That's where you were safe, you know, without getting beat up. Me too.
Right. Yeah, my first gay experience was with the costumer in the theater department.
Costumer.
A costumer, y'all. So yes, we had lots of little fun costumes to wear when we wanted to. But it was, but the thing is that these are amazing people, and I think we should really capitalize on all of this talent is coming from us. And also, I love Coleman Domingo because his lifelong love, his husband, was the trick that never went home. Everyone always jokes about the trick that never went home.
And that's him.
That's the for real one. Back in the day, if you saw someone at a stoplight or in the 7-Eleven or whatever, and your eyes met, but you could put an ad in the paper, say, missed you or whatever. I saw you here, and our eyes met, but I didn't get to talk to you, whatever. And they would answer back. That's what happened. He saw some dude, put that in the paper, the dude answered, came came home that night. They have been together for like 30 years. So his husband is the trick that never went home. Is that a beautiful story?
Oh, that is a beautiful story. And Coleman is a beautiful story.
Yes.
Like, he's just gorgeous, you know, and he has like this very over the top fashion that he is not afraid to wear. You know what I mean? And he wears it so well. I was telling you about 4 Seasons. You got to see it. Tina Fey's in it. It's a show. It's not a movie. You'll enjoy it. Anybody else that's nominated that jumped out at you during that time? Do you watch The Last of Us?
Yes.
But why do you say it like that? Where you have to like pause?
No.
Yes, but right?
I have different levels of engagement. It was
okay.
But and also I was trying to think of sister's name from Hack, the nominee.
Oh yeah, she's got a weird name. I'll never forget. I won't remember.
I'll never forget.
Yeah.
What's her face?
She won. Didn't she won? I think she won.
But that's the thing, and she is the.
No, I don't.
The bi lady.
Yeah.
She is so amazing, and she was a judge for RuPaul a year or two ago, and she was so engaging. I didn't even know she was bi then, but then I think she came out on RuPaul maybe. But yeah, she's amazing. So I'm so excited about that, and I'm excited about the non-binary person who I didn't really know a lot about.
Bella Ramsey.
But yes,
okay.
But I'm excited that is a known thing, because there are still full-grown, educated people with driver's license, high school diplomas. They don't know that binary is a thing. So I'm loving the representation so that people can see humanity really is very, very diverse, and they're showing up. They're showing out to be recognized. But I think the Emmys have done. They always have a lot of talent to choose from, but I think they've done a really good thing this year by just highlighting people that, I don't know, maybe the White House would like to completely erase or demonize or vilify or dehumanize, and they're just all over the screen that night.
But this is our turf, Bishop. That's why, you know, and like it's changed so much, these award shows, because before it was like, okay, Emmy nominations for 4 channels, right? Now it's for every single streaming channel, every single, you know, I mean, it's okay. How about RuPaul Charles?
Which has democratized the arts, which I love. And RuPaul, her talent's on fire. You can kiss the flames. She is. It's from a song. I
thought you made that up, Bishop.
No, my on fire. You can kiss the flames. Oh, anyway,
10th nomination for RuPaul Charles.
A queer drag performer, person of color, ranch owner in Montana. That's sort of off-brand, but this is amazing, and I love that, especially with all of the the drag demonization or whatever. Check out Mama Ru. 10 consecutive nominations.
Okay, and had won most of them.
Multiple wins.
Then Alan Cumming came and was like swooped it last year from her.
Which you want to be mad, except another queer person.
Exactly.
So all right,
and
we kept it in the family.
And one that we love. You know what I mean? Like Alan Cummings is just fantastic.
Yes.
You know.
And truth be told, if I had to look at an ass, I'd rather look at Alan's than Ru's.
I'd have to think about that. Maybe me too.
Well, Ru's is so full of filler. You know what I mean? Like Alan's is his. So.
Well, the Emmys will be coming out soon, and you will all enjoy it, and it'll be the queerest one yet. And that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by liking and subscribing. Queer News Tonight.
Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Bishop Durrell Watkins, and let's queer up faith. The strange story of the Church of England's gay exorcism and the legal settlement. The Church of England has paid a 5-figure settlement to a gay man who says he was subjected to a terrifying exorcism meant to purge his sexual so-called impurity. You might say to have Jesus drive out the gay. Matthew Draper, 37, was volunteering at St. Thomas, Philadelphia, a church in Sheffield, England, when he attended what was billed as a, quote, Encounter God weekend. Expecting a contemporary and welcoming experience, he says he instead endured a deeply traumatic ritual meant to drive out gay urges. Draper told The Times, looking back, quoting, it seems like something out of a horror movie. For someone to be standing over you and saying they can see demons leaving your body is quite terrifying. But when you are deeply tied into the church, as I was at that time, it's easy to believe anything they tell you, end quote. The experience led Draper to abandon Christianity altogether. Church officials initially denied the event took place, but an independent investigation by the charity Barnardos, commissioned by the Diocese of Sheffield, confirmed the session did occur. It was described as a, quote, prayer session, end quote, to change Draper's sexual identity. Draper filed a legal complaint in 2022 calling the exorcism ritual a form of conversion therapy. Though he wished to go to court, the church's insurers argued his claim exceeded the legal time limit. To avoid a lengthy battle, he accepted a settlement. His attorney, Richard Scorer, believes this is the first time a UK church has paid damages to a conversion therapy survivor. Scorer said, "It demonstrates that churches which engage in these abhorrent homophobic practices may face legal claims and damage awards, and I hope it will encourage churches to ban such practices entirely," end quote. The case comes as the UK continues to consider legislation to ban conversion therapy nationwide. Don't spare the horses. Ban this damn, you know what I mean? Because it's abuse and it's malpractice. Because, first of all, I hate the word homophobia. I refuse to use it anymore. You're not scared of anything. You're just being mean. It's homo hatred. It's trans loathing. There's no transphobia or homophobia in my world. It's homo hatred and trans loathing.
You're not afraid of them.
Yeah. No. In fact, you're doing everything you can to make them afraid of you. It's bullying. It's not phobia. So that. But these people, the Church of England, that's my tradition, by the way. I confirmed Episcopalian, went to an Episcopal seminary. That is my background. It is absolutely malpractice. They know. We go to graduate school. We have to know. They know that homosexuality, heterosexuality, bisexuality, pansexuality, picosexuality is innate. They know it's part of how you're wired. They know that it's value neutral, that it just is. And so for them to pretend that it's some sort of mystical woogie and you can just pray it away or beat it away or scream it away or wash it away, I'm going to wash that Satan right out of your hair. That is so stupid. And they know it. And meanwhile, look at the damage. This person was terrified, and this person wound up basically having his faith destroyed. Now, if your faith isn't something so crazy, let it be destroyed, but it's still painful. It's still, so they damaged his spiritual life, they damaged his psychology, and all for what? Something that they knew was bullshit. It makes me angry.
Yeah, I can't believe how this is still allowed. Like, we had done a story a couple months back about a church that was doing like exposure therapy, Bishop, like something horrific when it came to a homophobic, homosexual congregant of theirs. You know, at the end of the day, it's abuse. At the end of the day, it's illegal.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the
Certainly
person
immoral.
is worse off
Broken,
for it.
damaged.
You know, broken, damaged, even more so, second guessing themselves to the point of suicide. I mean, that is what this person was sent to. You know, and then can you just imagine that you're just like, oh, let me pack up, gonna go to a gay retreat, ta-ta-ta-ta-da.
Pray for a couple of days.
Just pray for a couple of days, maybe have some vegan options, you know, just to like clean everything out, and then you get there to this.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
I'm waving incense over you and I see devils coming out of you. Well, that's between you and your pharmacist. You know what I mean? Like, that is insane. And you know, first of all, there are so many queer saints in church history. At least twice a month we cover it on queer on the Queer God Squad. There are so many queer. There are even queer figures in the Bible. There are so many ways to queer scripture on top of that. Plus, we have known since 1973 that this is not disordered. This is not anything to. This is in no way psychologically damaged or damaging. This is just part of the spectrum of humanity. We know too much to pretend that we don't. But people have built their lives on oppressing people, one way or another, and they lose one group after another, which makes them buckle down on the remaining groups. And so every group that they thought their faith told them to hate, as they lose that group, they hate the remaining ones all the more, which just shows you how frail that faith is and how dysfunctional that God is. And so they're like, yeah, but if you tell us that gay's okay, and you tell us that women can preach, and if you tell us that, you know, divorced people are, you know, or as long as they're happy, you know, and you're telling us you can't beat your kids, and you're telling us that drag queens can read a Bible story, well, then what do we have left? Bishop Spong used to say, and I've lived my life by this. This is my affirmation of faith. Any God that can be killed ought to be killed as a public service. If your God is so fragile that your whole faith falls apart because you find out that gay people are people, then screw that God anyway. Yeah. That God was just a crutch that you leaned on to justify your hatred and your bullying. So better to have no God. I hate that this guy lost all semblance of faith. I wish he could embrace like humanism or something positive.
And didn't even get no money out of it, Bishop. He got a couple $1,000. When the bishop read that, I go, sir, are you sure you didn't read the wrong
Yeah, I
number?
mean,
like 5 figures. He probably got $1,000 and we're doing this story.
Yeah, right. I mean, I guess it could be like $99,000, but
it's not.
Yeah,
and we know it.
I feel like it's more like 10.
I get it. This sets precedent. I understand what the point is. Like they said, it's the first time that a church is actually paying damages to someone. You know,
as it is.
So it's more meaningful for that reason. But coño.
Do you know how many times? I mean, this is not at all inflated. How many times we have done at Sunshine Cathedral suicide funerals from churches where they were taught that they were evil, that they were going to hell. They can't take it anymore. They kill themselves. The church won't even do the funeral. They do it here. And then the family, sometimes the partner, goes right back to that church.
Yeah.
That is how damaged that sort of theology is. My whole job in life is to resist oppressive theologies. Now, of course, you can resist it by just walking away. That's one option. Another option is to offer an alternative, and that's what we do, because this sort of thing is unconscionable, and there has to be a safe place to heal from that sort of thing, and to hear that was never okay. That was never in any sort of divine plan. Yeah. So the Church of England knows better. That priest should have known better and did know better. This is malpractice. I'm glad there was some kind of penalty, but if it was 10,000, it really should have been 100.
For sure. And that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight. Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm FayWhat, and let's queer up health. Who do we blame when the UN says millions are going to die from AIDS by 2029? Years of U.S.-led investment helped push global AIDS deaths to the lowest point in over 30 years. But today, that progress is collapsing fast. A chilling new UN AIDS report warns that over 4 million people could die from AIDS in the next 3 years and by 2029. The UN says it's because of the sudden U.S. withdrawal of $4 billion in global HIV funding earlier this year. Clinics have closed. Testing has stopped. Supply chains are broken. And as UNAIDS puts it, a systematic shock has already begun. The damage began when President Donald Trump froze all foreign aid in January and moved to shut down the U.S. Agency for International Development. Though Secretary of State Rubio issued a limited waiver to continue treatment, the future of life-saving programs like PEPFAR remains uncertain. Andrew Hill, an HIV expert, called it irresponsible to cut funding without warning, leaving patients stranded in Africa. In Nigeria alone, 99.9% of HIV prevention drug budgets came from the U.S. Dr. Chris Byrer from Duke University warned of another massive setback, the loss of data. He said, quote, without reliable data about how HIV is spreading, it will be incredibly hard to stop it, end quote. Meanwhile, a promising new injectable drug, Yeztugo, has been hailed as a game changer. But activists like Peter Maybarduck says Gilead's pricing strategy keeps it out of reach. Quote, we could be ending AIDS. Instead, the U.S. is abandoning the fight, end quote. UNAIDS says hope still exists, but only if the world steps up before it's too late. A major debate is occurring today in Washington from both House and Senate on discussion of what the next steps will be and if the Republican majority will reject Trump and Rubio decisions on AIDS prevention and life-saving treatments. You know, we were this close to ending AIDS, this close. Then Trump froze those $4 billion in global HIV funding, all right? Clinics are shutting down, meds are stopping, and millions are at risk. This isn't just policy, it's life and death. And the U.S. can't preach freedom while turning its back on the global fight against AIDS. And this is where we're at. I know. We used to call AIDS a global, national defense issue. And it was so important. And now this. The truth is that even in the U.S., we aren't doing what we could be doing. That I forget the clinical term for it, but where the suppression of HIV, where you're getting the communities, you're getting the education out, you're getting the prophylaxis out, you're getting the medications out, and so fewer people are seroconverting. Those who are positive have their virus load under control, undetectable. That is down to like 10%. Like 90% good, 10%, still working on in a lot of countries that get this aid. Whereas in the U.S. itself, it's down to 50%. It had been down like to 30, it's now up to 50. Wow. So we're not even like educating our own people, and we have the resources. And now we're cutting it off to a world who was taking them and using them properly and really getting their countries healthy. And now this. So this is
I can't see the point of it other than cruelty. I don't see how. I know it costs money, but everything costs money.
Everything.
You have money for a parade, a silly parade where you can't even march in step. You've got money for whatever you want. So why don't we want to keep people alive? Why don't we want families to be healthy and safe? And this is so spreadable. I mean, if people don't know about it and they can't get tested and they can't get treated, families are going to be wiped out. Communities are going to be wiped out.
Completely. Bishop, but how about the possibility of a new strain, right?
Oh, exactly.
Because, and then a new strain coming over to the U.S., which will happen.
Yeah, people travel, and which is what happened to begin with. A flight attendant all over the place, went somewhere and patient zero. So that's how it started to begin with. But, we can't teach history and we can't teach anything gay and we can't teach anything about HIV. And so, this is not only evil, it's stupid. It's people are going to die needlessly. We have so much research.
Yeah.
And we have so many resources. And why would we not? We really could wipe this out.
Well, how about, we talked about in the story about Yestugo, which is a new drug, and it's literally just an injectable, right? But what people are saying is that people like Gilead are not going to make it.
Is it twice a year? I think it's, yes, but it is cost prohibitive.
But it's expensive. Okay, and that's the thing, so who gives a shit if you have it, if you can't get it in the hands of the people who need it?
Exactly, but if every person at risk could take 2 shots a year, I'm wondering if that wouldn't be offset by you wouldn't have to get viral loads every 2, 3, 4 months. You wouldn't have to take medicine every day.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if it wouldn't be offset by the benefits. And even if not, some things are worth paying for. Mm-hmm. Maybe we don't have the largest military on the planet. If we're larger than the next one by, a grillion% or whatever, we can have less of that and still feel safe.
Just like 2% less will be okay.
I just understand what the American aversion is to kindness and compassion. We're so afraid someone is gonna get some benefit.
Yeah.
And maybe everyone could get some benefit. Why is that keeping you up at night?
It can't, and it's something that sparks in me is that another reason why they really don't want to help these people is because of the color of their skin. Okay. And that pokes at me, Bishop, where it's like, screw it. They're in Africa and they're black. Screw them.
Yeah. Oh, we would be naive not to think that. And that it's still associated as a sexually transmitted disease. Yeah. And so there's always stigma with that. Guess what? Sex happens. People have sex. And you shouldn't have to die because you do what people do. People have sex. I'm HIV positive. And back in the day, people would die and they call it liver cancer or leukemia. They were just anything to hide it. And then if they were caught, they were always like doing something heroic and saving someone's life on the side of the road and blood squirting their eye. And at one time I'm saying, am I the only person who got it from fucking? Am I the only one? I used to say, when I think of what I have, I don't feel so great. But when I think of how I got it, I can't complain. But people do it. People have sex and it's good and they shouldn't have to die for it. And they no longer have to.
Yeah.
And here comes our government saying, well, sorry about you, but maybe you do have to because I don't like your color, or I don't like your politics, or I don't like your sexuality, or whatever. We have the means to completely, if not cure this, control it for every community on the planet. And it is an absolute sin if we don't try to.
Amen. And that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.
Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Bishop Durrell Watkins, and let's queer up gay culture. Gay and gray. Redditors get real about aging as queer men. What's it really like to age as a gay man? I love that I got this story. That's the question, sparking a huge social media conversation on Reddit's Ask Gay Men Over 30 forum. A man in his 40s kicked off the conversation asking, quote, worst, best things about growing old as a gay man, end quote. He shared that losing youthful attractiveness has been tough, but also acknowledged the confidence that comes with still being called hot by younger men. That duality, feeling both seen and unseen, struck a chord. One popular reply put it this way, quote, worst thing, you become invisible in a culture that values youth and beauty above all else. Best thing, you become invisible in a culture that values youth and beauty above all else, end quote. Some pointed to the blessing of longevity itself. A man in his 50s reflected, quote, having the opportunity to grow older is a blessing, but it's difficult seeing yourself age and your body deteriorate. But this also makes life precious, as it's so transient. I'm happier as I get older, know myself better, and feel more content. I was thinking the other day that when I was in my 30s, I thought I knew it all and I was old. Now I look back and realize I was so young. It made me think that when I'm in my 70s, I'll think back at myself right now in 2025 and realize how young I was, end quote. Others warned of loneliness, but also celebrated the queer community's power to build intergenerational friendships. And many agreed that with age comes clarity, confidence, and less FOMO, fear of missing out. Some also talked about losing loved ones, especially for those who lived through the AIDS crisis. From fading beauty to newfound confidence, and deep friendships to deep losses. Aging as a gay man, it turns out, is just like life itself. Complex, honest, and worth every year. Studies showed the extent of ageism in American society. It should be noted that ageism is significantly higher in the gay community. And that is true. There are intersectional realities and oppressions and all of this. There are people who've spent their whole adult lives out that in nursing care have to go into the closet or feel they do to feel safe, to feel cared for or whatever. So there are intersectional realities about being gay and older and being trans and aging. I mean, there is still so much ignorance about trans health. And I've had friends in their 50s and older just have these horror stories from the emergency room. You know what I mean? So it is difficult. But I am one of those people who lived through the AIDS crisis. I'm one of those people who survived the AIDS crisis. And sometimes I'm like, I wish, my back didn't hurt. Or, I love my silver hair. So I love that. But there are other things I don't love. The constant battle with weight. I don't like the aches and pains. I don't like all this stuff. But I do like that I'm a queer elder. Yeah. Because when I was young, there weren't many. And so that I have the opportunity, the privilege that a whole generation of men before me were denied. I don't take that lightly. And I'm so glad that I can care for those older than me. I can mentor those younger than me. I'm still young enough and healthy enough to do a lot of things and enjoy my life. Life is pretty good. Yeah. So, but I'm coupled. I'm married.
But you have a partner. Exactly.
Yes. If I were single, that would be different.
They were talking about, the lonely aspect. Yes. Right. And a lot of people deal with that, right? A lot of your friends start passing away or you move somewhere, whatever it is. I love the intergenerational aspect of this, right? Go hang out with somebody younger, right? I mean, or if you're young, go hang out with somebody older. They'll be able to teach you so many things about just life, I don't know if this is true for women. It's true for gay men, though. We are geniuses at fetishizing anything. So, you know what? You can't lose weight. Fuck it, I'm a hot bear. You know what I mean? Yes! Like, or whatever. I'm not young anymore. There's some young guy looking for a daddy, and I got some coins. I'm a daddy now. Right, you know what I mean? So the great thing about being a gay man is if you can't fix it, you can feature it. And it still works out pretty good. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that's true for women. Maybe it is. I hope it is. Well, there's something about, I'm 50. Woo, wow, right? I mean, that in our community is old. And it's really not when it comes to the world, But it's the old hag show. It's old hag show. It's old hag show. Two of the best. I'm 58. There's less chaos in this brain at 50 than there was in my 30s. There is wisdom that comes with time, right? I know not to deal with that little young girl. I know better at this age. I didn't, 10 years, 12 years back. Yeah. These are things that I welcome with age. We're a very ageist community, especially in LGBTQ+. We are, but we have a lot of insecurities. We're a marginalized group. That's just how we retaliate, you know what I mean? And I think some people figure, oh, I'm hot, and they really capitalize on it early on. But I think a lot of us didn't realize. And so, because we felt bad, the church, the family, whatever. So we felt bad anyway. So if we did feel cute, we used that to get validation, or maybe we didn't realize how cute we were. So I find myself telling people in their 20s a lot who are shy or they're worried they'll never find the one or whatever. I'm like, you are smart and pretty and talented and fun, and please don't worry. Please, if anybody needs to worry about anything, you don't need to worry about finding someone. They're gonna fall into your lap any day now. But even when you got it, sometimes you don't know you got it because we're so beat up. We're so wounded. We're so wounded, right? Yeah. But I mean, I think what I got the most out of everything that you said was live for today, right? Yeah. Live for today, because yesterday you can't get back. Yeah. That's gone, And those pictures that you see from the past, wow, I was skinny. Okay, think that way now, because in the future you're going to look back at now and go, wow, I was skinny. Right. But 58 years on the planet,
and counting. Like, I know so much stuff. I've learned so much stuff. And if you value wisdom, intelligence, experience, girl, I got a lot of it. You know what I mean? So
there is nowhere that I can't drop you that you can't have a conversation with whoever, okay? And he can't.
So, and I love that. I love that about me. So yeah, I'll probably never have a 32-inch waist again. Yeah, I'm always going to grunt when I bend over to tie my shoe. But I'm a lot of fun still. And nobody can outdrink me. So,
Nobody can outdrink the bishop. Let's just leave that right there.
The boozy bishop.
The boozy bishop. The boozy bishop. And that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight. Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm FayWhat, and let's queer up South Florida and Florida. SAVE asks you to join as it speaks at local meetings in your community to save LGBTQ. SAVE is stepping up, and it's inviting the LGBTQ plus community to do the same. The South Florida-based advocacy group is taking pride to the podium, encouraging queer residents and allies to speak at monthly city commission meetings across Miami-Dade, Broward, and beyond. The organization states, quote, "At SAVE, we believe pride isn't just a month, it's a movement," end quote. Originally launched during Pride Month, the initiative urges locals to speak directly to elected officials about LGBTQ rights and concerns. What began as a June campaign has now become a permanent strategy and encourages you to become an ally and voice for the LGBTQ plus community. No experience? No problem. According to SAVE Executive Director Todd Dalmay, SAVE offers coaching, talking points, and support to help everyone from first-timers to seasoned speakers. He encourages you to join their mission in front of local community decision makers. You can make their voices heard. For meeting details and how to join and participate, visit save.lgbt. SAVE reminds us all that change starts locally. Advocacy is pride. And I just love this because SAVE isn't just marching, they're mobilizing. They want you at city commission meetings to speak up for our rights. No experience, no problem. They'll train you to slay the mic like it's freaking Drag Race, all right? This is how we protect queer youth. This is how we protect the future. This is how we protect our family.
Right. And I've spoken at SAVE events, and I speak for a living. You speak for a living. Like, we're activists pretty much 24/7. But we can't do it alone. So this is a chance for everyone to have their minute. And if you're good at it and you love it, have more minutes. This is important. Our voices are being seen and our voices being heard. Never more important than right now. That's what our drag artists have done for us forever. RuPaul, you mentioned, and P.S., this happens to be International Drag Day.
Yes.
So these drag artists using their voice and their talent and really taking the hit for it, and yet still they do it. They're my heroes. They are shamans of our community. And so this is your chance to share in that. You don't have to be a minister. You don't have to be a politician. You don't have to be an activist. You don't have to be a drag artist. You can just be someone who shows up at a meeting with some talking points and shares your energy and your presence. It makes a difference. I tell this story all the time, that in the fight against AIDS, we really didn't get very far until there was combination therapies. The monotherapies helped for a little bit and then they'd wear out. And so we didn't get a hold on this until multiple combination therapies. That worked. That taught me about everything, though. That's how everything works. One way doesn't really get much done. We need everyone doing what they can, and the combination therapy is what gets the dis-ease under control. So this homo hatred and trans loathing that is just taking over our society right now, we need combination therapy. So yeah, some people are going to be at it, just hammer and claw, doing what they can day after day. But then others can do little things. They can make contributions, they can sign petitions, they can write letters, they can show up in a meeting and say a few words. And when we all do it, when we all do what we can do, that's when miracles happen.
That's when miracles happen, and there's strength in numbers, and we are everywhere, Bishop, okay? Like, people want to stop seeing us, but we're there, right? And no one has your story but you.
Yeah.
That's your perfect story to share. And like they said, like Todd said, they'll train you. They'll give you the copy points, everything you need
SAVE is
right
so
there.
Great. I love SAVE. They're important, and you can be part of it.
And you can be a part of it. So look him up, go to SAVE, and hey, you might be the next speaker at the next commission meeting that's making things happen. You just never know, all right? And don't be fearful. You'll be fine. I promise you, okay? Send me a message and I'll be your coach. Always start off with a joke.
Like that one.
Make fun of the judge. Make fun of the judge not having anything under.
Wow.
Probably don't do that.
Don't do
They'll
that.
probably tell you I saved not to do that.
Don't do that.
They will coach you on everything, so please, no fear.
But
right?
really, the best and most well-known MC in the area, she can give you some pointers.
I totally can. And that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight. As a nonprofit LGBTQ media organization, we would like to thank our viewers for supporting our mission to tell the stories of the queer community. We'd also like to thank the generous support of Jets Pizza. Jets is the LGBTQ community's most popular pizza in South Florida.
Take a look around these streets. Do you really think we woke up one day and said, yeah, the world needs more pizza? Nah, just a better one. Better, like the world's best pizza, Jets Detroit-style pizza. Hand-pressed and baked to the thickest, crispiest crunch. You're welcome. Now visit jetspizza.com and save. Click on hot deals for special offers in your area. Jets, better because it has to be.
Those are today's headlines from Queer News Tonight. Our anchors represent the best of our LGBTQ community. If our community is important to you, share this news with your friends and family. Join the conversation on your favorite streaming platform.
Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ digital television show in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines. We need your support. If our community is to grow and then thrive, we must tell our stories and bring them to the attention of the broader world. This is the only place in the world that tells these types of LGBTQ stories in motion and sound. That is the passion of Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, and Queer News Tonight.
That's right, Bishop, and I'm your anchor, FayWhat. And on behalf of our LGBTQ reporters, him, the bishop, him. Did I just point at you with my middle finger? That's rude.
Oh, wow.
Why would I? No, you don't do that here like that. Yeah. All right. The incredible anchors of Queer News Tonight.
I got strangely aroused. I don't know what that was about, but I'm confused now.
Including and only Bishop Durrell Watkins.
Well, the master of pizza holding, as it turns out.
That was the best pizza holding I've ever encountered. You folks at home, I think that you would agree too, right? Folks, we hope that you live authentically and out loud, and you eat your pizza however it is that you want to eat your pizza, okay? And we will see you daily at 8 p.m. And to our LGBTQ plus world, we hope that you will join us by embracing love, generosity, bravery, by being transformative, and of course, being queer. Good night.